What is up, guys? Welcome back to Take It to the House. I'm joined by Elijah Murray and Zach Robinson, as always. This week, we're going to talk about college football officially getting underway, with our favorite teams getting ready to go. And then we just got like a little bit of MLB and NFL news, not too much other than that. So, how are you guys doing?
Doing all right. I'm just ready for football. Everything's ramping up. College football
No
starting.
question about it. I am ready to be hurt again by our teams.
Oh,
Gosh.
bro, here's the thing. So I think, okay, I want to know because you have more of an in than I do when it comes to Utah football. Any updates on Cam and Keithy?
I think it's going to be Nate Johnson.
Okay.
From kind of sources that I've been hearing. I've also heard that the players don't even fully know yet either.
Oh,
So,
Interesting.
but I just have a gut feeling that it's going to be Nate because I think that they want to see what they have with Nate because we already know what we have with Bryson Barnes,
Right.
and we know that Bryson isn't the future. So it's going to be Nate or Bryson. I would lean towards Nate Johnson. And then Keithy, I think, is close to, if not 100%. I saw him. I didn't see him this Sunday. I saw him last Sunday, and no braces, no anything on his leg. So I think he'll be good. But I still think Yasmin will probably be the go-to for tight end right now.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't be surprised if you see Brant enough in there.
Okay. Cool.
And then our defense is gonna be really good, I think, this year.
That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah.
They're saying
Linebacker
rising.
depth is insane.
They're saying rising. It will be a game time decision.
Yeah, which I don't think I've heard that he's not close. So I think that's just out there to be kind of in Florida's head to be preparing. Because the thing is, too, if you play Nate, Florida has no tape on Nate, right?
Exactly.
They have like 3 plays that he's played, and I don't even think he threw the ball. I think he was like an RPO. So I don't know. It'll be interesting.
I feel, I know it's a big game, but I almost feel like it would be a detriment to start Cam because,
Yeah.
well, like you said, they already know Cam, but also Florida's QB is not all that, at least from what I can tell. So
Yeah,
it's
it
not
could
like
be a defensive battle.
right. It's not like we're going to need Cam to outscore like we need with USC, right?
Right. Yeah. And I think too, what I think you don't want is you don't want Cam to go out there and then he gets hurt and then
Right.
like you're screwed. Or like also like I think people are discrediting the fact that Baylor is also a really big game. I
Mhm.
think going to Baylor. So I think play Nate or Bryson, whichever. I would prefer Nate. Play Nate and then just see how it goes from there.
Right.
And Jaquindon Jackson was named the top starting running back, by the way.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
In the 2 deep, it's Jaquindon and then Mackay, and then Jalen Glover will get work too.
Okay.
So
It's going to be an
Zach, you
interesting
haven't really
game.
said a whole lot.
It's going to be an interesting game.
It'll be exciting.
Coming to our house.
Yeah, coming to our place at elevation, dry heat, and a horrible quarterback. They have an awful what's his name? Brock something, right? Florida's
Yeah.
quarterback. He's atrocious.
But yeah, Florida's flying out today because of the hurricane.
Yeah.
So they'll be here probably tonight, and they'll practice one day tomorrow so they can get used to elevation, which I think it's smart for school to do that. So, but Utah's winning spread by 6.5 right now. And we'll see if that changes. It was 4.5 like a few days ago.
Graham Mertz is the quarterback, Wisconsin transfer.
Yeah.
Do you think? I mean, here's the thing. He's not bad. I remember at Wisconsin. He's decent, but he's not.
I've just heard he hasn't been doing great in Florida, but the problem is if you have no other quarterbacks that are pushing, that's a concern.
Right.
Yep.
And I don't know. I think. Do you guys think that if we win, it's a field rush game or no? Like, it's
No.
not worth it.
It's the first game of the year.
Like I would say yes if it were the Florida team of last year,
Right.
like with
That's
Anthony
what I'm
Richardson.
thinking. Yeah.
But I just don't think like Florida rushed the field, but it's because we were also overranked.
Right.
Yeah, we were
Florida's not even ranked.
Right.
So I don't think so. I don't think it's a field rush game.
I don't think so either. I kind of have a feeling that it's gonna be maybe.
I think it could happen, but I don't think it should happen.
I don't think it's gonna be like exciting enough of a game or a big enough.
Unless it's
win.
like But to that point, unless it's like a dramatic finish and we win, like maybe that's the field rush part where it's like, yes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I can't tell you the last time an SEC team was in Utah for a football game. I'm gonna look that up, but
Yeah, for sure. And then Ohio State announced quarterback. Elijah, I'll let you.
Yes. So Kyle McCord is our quarterback for this year. I've heard good stuff about him, and I've seen him play. He's decent. He's not, he's not as highly touted as any of our quarterbacks that we've had for like the past 6 years. I think he'll be serviceable, but I think we're in a transition period. I think next year is when we get back to, challenging Michigan again, which is terrible to say that we have to wait another year. But we're getting our top prospect, Aaron Noland, left-handed quarterback out of Georgia. He'll be our starter next year. And we have a wide receiver coming up that will be on the team this year, but he'll be the number one next year, who's already said to be better than Marvin Harrison. So,
Wow.
yeah, this year I think McCord will be serviceable. I think he'll be good, but it bothers me that we had to wait this long to figure out that McCord is the guy.
yeah.
Whatever
Because I think
happened.
it's a confidence killer too, a little bit that you wait so long. Whereas, like, if you name a starter early, then they're like, yes.
Right.
Whatever
So,
happened to that guy that went to Ohio State from Corner Canyon? Did he transfer?
are you talking about Quinn Ewers? Wait,
No, not.
corner.
He was a quarterback. He committed like 2 years ago from Corner Canyon.
What's his name?
I forget his name. It's the year after Dart.
Let me see.
Yeah, look it up.
Also, I have quick stats about Utah versus SEC. Overall record, the Utes are 1-7 against the SEC.
The ACC?
The SEC.
Oh, I heard ACC.
And their only win against an SEC team is when we played Bama in the Sugar Bowl in 2008. But we also, from what I can tell, in the Rice Eccles era, this will be the first SEC team to play at Rice Eccles. So that'll be pretty sick. I drove past the stadium today trying to find parking forever, and I saw them like getting the video boards ready, and it's kind of crazy to see Florida Gator logo on there.
Yeah,
Like, that's just wild to me.
it's gonna be. I mean, it's a sold out game, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's been like a bunch of people on Snapchat in their stories really, can someone sell me a ticket? Can someone sell me a ticket? I'm like, shut
Some
up.
people are selling their Must tickets for like $300 a piece, bro.
Yeah.
Tickets are. I saw my stepdad. He found 2 tickets for like $200 a pop.
Jesus.
But I don't
That's
know where they
pretty
are.
decent.
That's really decent for, the average.
Yeah.
Also, the kid from Corner Canyon, Devin Brown, he was actually in the QB battle with McCord, and
Oh,
McCord
nice.
beat him out. So yeah.
Hey,
Got
but
it.
that's good that he's in there.
I was like thinking about it, I'm like, I know there's a kid from here.
Yeah.
So,
So some people were kind of sad that Brown didn't win, as I was seeing it on Twitter, but you have to trust
Do
the
Ohio
coaches.
State have a fluffy game, their first game, or is it a
yeah,
big?
it's a fluffy game.
It's an extreme fluff game. Like our first two, like our second game, I think we're playing like Youngstown State or something like that.
See, for me, I hate that because I also would prefer my team to play a harder schedule to begin with, so I can see what we're really like made of. And not only that, but then like it wouldn't. I don't think it would define your season if you lost, right? Because like look at Utah last year, we lost at Florida with a better team. Like we had a better team last year, lost at Florida, and still won the Pac-12. Like,
Okay, so our first game's not like incredibly fluff, it's against Indiana, but then we're playing Youngstown State and then Western Kentucky, and then our first big game is against Notre Dame. So
okay,
That'll be a good
Yeah.
one.
that'll be a good one.
and Notre Dame won, right? And
Notre Dame did
Yeah.
win.
Good transition, actually.
Yeah, good transition.
Saturday was the first official games for college football, week 0. We kind of went over it last week. USC just dominated San Jose State 56-28. Caleb Williams. It's Caleb Williams.
I have to say, is it just me or does that seem like almost a little too close? Like,
Yeah.
Like
Well,
Maui,
maybe not even too close, but I feel like you shouldn't be giving up 28. That's
no.
the concern there.
Yeah.
But it just shows that USC's defense is still poo poo.
It's every single game, right? But I think that's almost a positive for anyone who plays them. It's like we don't have
Score.
to, we just have to score and we're in the game, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But
I don't know.
Caleb Williams had 278 yards, threw for like 4 touchdowns. Sorry, I got tickle my throat.
You can bleep this out, but Sports Center were already like sucking him off hard.
Oh my gosh.
Give him the Heisman now. Give him the Heisman now. Because he's making plays against San Jose State. Like, congrats,
Cool.
bud.
And then Navy Notre Dame 42-3.
Those uniforms, by the way, both ways were so fire.
Those are so sick. They should just make
Did you
them.
see the Navy ones looked really nice too? They were.
I can't get this on.
I think
I thought
so
the Navy
too.
ones were better than the Notre Dame ones.
What?
It's also a pretty cool venue.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Sam Hartman. That might sound a familiar name. You guys watch QB1? Yeah, he transferred to Notre Dame last year or this year during the offseason from Wake Forest. So this is his last year of eligibility. But Sam Hartman had a game 251 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Nice.
Man, it was atrocious. So
Notre Dame are going to be good.
yeah, they are. But those are really the really only 2 ranked teams that play. Another notable one is San Diego State. Beat Ohio 20-13, which I think is also a little too close. So Hawaii lost to Vanderbilt.
San Diego State, you're preparing to enter the Pac-4, and you can't even just blow out Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh man. It does sound like, keeping in with college football, it does sound like Big 12 are interested in most of the remaining Pac-12 teams, but it sounds like probably more so, like some more so than others. But when I saw the alert, it sounded like all of the remaining Pac-12 they were interested, which I think would be an L for Big 12 if they just take all the Pac-12 remaining teams, because I don't think you want Cal and Stanford, to be honest.
I want Oregon State and Wazoo though.
I'd take Oregon State and Washington State. Even Washington State, I'm like, meh. Oregon State for sure you want.
Cameron Ward's gonna be good this year though.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, next matchups are on Thursday, the 31st. So in 2 days from when we're recording, tomorrow when we post. Florida and Utah is the big highlight game. That's the only ranked team playing. And then we got Nebraska at Minnesota, which will also be a good one. And we also got Southern Utah at Arizona State.
But those aren't all on Thursday.
Yeah, there's a bunch on Thursday.
They are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But Utah's the headliner game.
Utah is a headliner game.
Yeah. Which, like, man, it's going to be so wild. I'm so excited. Okay, quickly from Zach and I, Elijah, if you want to chip into, but score predictions for Utah, Florida. First of all, give me your starter at quarterback and then score predictions.
I'm going to say Cam gets cleared.
Whoa.
It's going to be 35-21.
Whoa. And Cam plays. Wow. I'm going to say it's Nate Johnson time. And I'll go 28-17 Utah, because I think that we're going to be able to score, but not as fluidly as we normally can. I think it's going to take a minute. But I also think that Florida's offense isn't going to do a whole lot. So I'll say 28-17 Utah and Nate Johnson plays. And I think Jaquindon has himself a game at running back. Elijah, do you want to pitch in here?
Yeah, I'm going to say probably Nate Johnson plays as well. Bryson Barnes is a safe option, but we need to know sometime what Nate Johnson is going to do and what
better opportunity too, right?
Right. What a better
home game against an SEC opponent.
And I think it'll be 21-7.
Okay, so you think lower scoring too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can't expect
Yeah.
Nate Johnson to ball out like that. And
That's why I said 28-17, but I think Jaquindon Jackson is the one who probably carries the bulk of the workload.
yeah,
Like, I think that we'll probably give him the ball probably between 15 and 20 times. So, and I think we probably take maybe pick 6 or something like that too. So, like, we could be talking one Nate Johnson passing touchdown,
yeah.
but I think he'll do enough to not lose us the game.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
I have confidence in Nate. So,
Yeah. I think if Nate Johnson doesn't get played this year, he's gonna transfer.
yeah.
Like, I don't think he'll start when Rose is healthy.
I've also heard that Brandon Rose is really good, but I've heard that Nate Johnson has pushed Brandon pretty, like, that was pretty tight between the two of them.
Now it's really tight between Barnes and Johnson.
Right, and now it's tight between Barnes and Johnson just because Rose is injured too.
Right.
I don't know. I think that I haven't seen Brandon Rose play either that much either. Like, looking at high school, you can't, like, there's not a whole lot, but I think that Nate needs to get this opportunity now, and if he plays really well against Florida, then that's more of like an audition for next year. Because I think Cam will be good by maybe week. I bet he doesn't play till week 3. Yeah. And even at that, maybe not, because we play Weber State week 3.
There's no point in like overdoing it when he doesn't need to.
Maybe he doesn't even play. I'm gonna look at Utah's schedule here, but
I'd probably say he plays against UCLA for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say UCLA at home. First
What are
Pac-12
these games?
What, this weekend?
Yeah.
They're probably all fluffy games, other than Florida State and LSU. That's
Where
like the
where the
one.
f is Sam Houston?
You don't know Sam Houston?
Yeah, but
the college.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know where that is.
In Houston. Just a thought.
Shut up. But Coastal Carolina and UCLA will be a good one. Maybe.
I won't watch it.
Coastal Carolina's been actually a good squad last few years.
But shout out to the fact that BYU starts with a fluffy schedule so they can get their only 2 or 3 wins of the season, and then they'll just lose in Big 12.
Hey, but North Carolina and South Carolina, that's going to be a good one too.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
But I think the best game of the weekend, in my opinion, is LSU Florida State.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it goes LSU.
And it's in the Superdome.
Wait, for real?
No, it's at Camping World.
Oh, it's at the Orange Bowl. Okay.
I
knew it was not at a. I knew it was at. It wasn't at either of theirs.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for that game. I'm excited for North Carolina, South Carolina.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
West Virginia and Penn State's going to be a good one too.
I wish North Carolina were in the SEC. That'd be cool.
What are they?
ACC.
They're
is
ACC
easy for them. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, all these other games are kind of meh. So, but these are all like pillow games. What we're all saying. But anyway, to the NFL, preseason wrapped up on Sunday with the Texans and Saints. Thatcher was kind of mad about offensive play, but
yeah, Hayner's struggling, bro. But it's fine.
But speaking of the Saints, Will Lutz, the kicker, lost the kicker battle, and now he's being traded to Denver, which I'm excited about because I don't have to deal with freaking Brett Maher and Elliott Fry. So I'm excited for that trade. But there's been a bunch of roster cuts. Kenyon Drake made cut from the Colts. Myles Gaskins from the Dolphins.
Ben DiNucci
got cut. Kendall Hinton, Nathan Peterman got cut too.
Brayton Covey
got cut too.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, another big name up there. Trace McSorley got cut as well.
Trace McSorley.
So, and then there was one more. There's one more I missed. Who was?
I mean, there have been a good amount of roster cuts.
Yeah,
Browns have their 53.
Yeah, it's so harsh that you have to go from 94 to 53 or something like that.
It's like 70. It's like 75 to 53.
75. Yeah, 75 is the preseason roster limit.
Yeah. But then you also count for like all the practice squad guys too that you got to change up and like all that. It's just wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, sticking with NFL. So was it Friday? Friday that Trey Lance got traded?
Yes,
Or was it
sir.
Saturday?
Start Friday.
So Trey Lance got traded to the Cowboys for a fourth,
Hmm.
fourth round pick. Um, what do you guys think that this means for Dak Prescott though? Because if you look at it, Dak's in a contract year. Like he will be a free agent heading into next season if they don't agree on a
I
deal.
thought they already agreed on a deal.
He's gonna be. I thought he was on the tag,
No, that's Pollard.
but I swear Dak's gonna be.
I'll look it up. Keep going. But yeah,
But
like,
what
well,
I
like,
was gonna say
yeah,
is like I think that this is more of a leverage tool for Dallas of like, dude, don't be demanding all this big money when we could easily just play Trey Lance. Because it's I don't know. Who knows? I don't think that I still don't think Trey Lance is it. I don't think he's the guy, but I also don't think he's gotten a fair chance at all.
Right. He's
Like,
he's only played around 200 snaps in the NFL because of injury. Um, I
right, well,
think.
and he started 2 games at the end of last season, at the end of not last season, but the season before, and they were like meh, but it was just because they were throwaway games.
Mhm.
And then he got 1 game in like a monsoon against Chicago, and then like a half of a quarter and broke his leg.
So um, I think Trey Lance is going to be the starter after this year for the Cowboys.
Whoa.
Um, I think if Dak is anything like we've seen this season so far, he probably like he's going to be like he might even be benched. Like that's how bad he's been. He's been absolutely horrendous. Um, Now, but here's the thing: there's going to be because that brings up another point that there's going to be a lot of QB movement this offseason too, because Kyler Murray probably won't be on the Cardinals. Kirk Cousins, maybe the Vikings move on from him. Um,
he's under
so
contract for 1 year though. I'm
hmm?
pretty sure. I think he's under
He's
contract for
under
one more
contract
year.
for 1 more year.
I think
Okay,
so.
so yeah, maybe he stays 1 more year, but like Dak, I don't think he's the guy really anywhere. I think he's so overrated, but you know, I'm not a Trey Lance homer by any means, but I think one coach has to be able to get something out of him.
Yeah. Jack will not be a free agent until 2025, but he has a potential out next year. So he'll be on the roster for 2024, but he'll have a potential out. But he's under contract until 2026, technically.
Ooh, I'd hate that if I was Jerry Jones.
Yeah. But yeah, some of the contract details, no trade clause, no tag clause. Um, he gets a 2024 master bonus, 5 million, 31 million 2023 salary full guaranteed. So yeah, he's under contract until technically 2026, but or 2025, but he has a potential out after 2024.
So that might be kind of what you look at too, is like maybe he doesn't play well and the Cowboys just say like, hey, look, you're fine to like go if you want to go find another
Yeah,
option,
like it's like
go find
Russell
another
Wilson.
option,
It's like Russell Wilson last year.
or you can come back, but just know that we have Trey and we would play Trey if you're not going to come back.
Mm-hmm. I also think it just depends how he plays this year. Like if he
And
gets
I think,
hurt, and they're winning games with Trey Lance, then I would 100% request a trade and waive my clause.
or you don't, yeah, I mean, or you tell Dak, we're not going to play you anymore. We're going to play Trey. Go find a trade.
But the
Right.
problem is, who would trade for Dak if he's?
There are a lot of teams out there that would take Dak over what they have.
Tampa.
I don't know.
I think Tampa would take him. I think the Falcons would take him. I think,
I think it depends on Ritter does this
It
year.
depends on Ritter. I think
yeah,
for the
but Ritter
Falcons.
didn't look good last season, so I'm not counting on that. Also, like Heineke could win the job over Ritter, like honestly. So you're in a situation like that. I think,
Tennessee's up there too.
yeah, I mean Tennessee could play Dak. Um, uh, you look at like
Houston.
maybe even like the Steelers if Pickett doesn't do well. I mean, I
No,
know that
but
Pickett's been, I've heard good things from Pickett this camp though. But
Yep.
like the Packers, if Jordan Love doesn't start playing well, you could look at the Lions if they don't want Jared Goff anymore. Like I think there are teams that would take Dak for sure.
I just don't think any team would be willing to give up a lot
A
for
lot.
him.
But I don't think that the Cowboys would demand that much because, okay, think about it. If you're the Cowboys and you already have Trey and you're winning games with Trey, why would you demand a lot to then get rid of a quarterback that you're not going to use?
Just, yeah, I mean, just because. I mean,
But
I
I don't
think
think Jerry's smart. Like Jerry is smart enough that he would be like, let's just get what we can.
I honestly thought a fourth round pick was too high for Lance.
Oh, I think so for sure. I think a fifth or a sixth. I mean, you're looking at a player that hasn't had success. Now, it could be a steal if if he works out, right? Like,
But it's an experiment.
right. So, but I like it because I also think it puts pressure on Dak to perform well. And I think he knows that if he starts playing poorly with 4, 5, 6 games, that there's a guy on the bench who could go play, and maybe it works out, and then maybe you lose your job. I think that's a super interesting trade. Like when I saw him to the Cowboys, I'm like, ooh, they don't trust Dak. That's immediately what I thought.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think Dak has the locker room either. So
It's saying Kirk will be an unrestricted free agent in 2024. So this year, you guys are right.
Big Kirko wakes up dripping like this.
Yeah. But I also think that he might resign again if they're doing it this year. But if not, then
I will say though, what kind of gets me hesitant on them re-signing Kirk is the fact that they were going to trade for Lance. They were really pushing hard to
Yeah,
trade
it was
for
them, the Bills,
him.
and the Bills is a weird one.
It doesn't make any sense. But I will say I think Josh Allen is severely overrated.
I think he's severely overrated, but he's good enough that he would not lose his job to trade.
Right.
yeah.
I think that maybe you don't re-sign Kirk and go for a big target, like go for somebody who really could put you over the edge.
I think Kyler Murray to the Vikings makes so much sense.
I think that'd be sick. It's just, can Kyler finally get his shit together?
Yeah.
I think if he sits out this whole year, which is what I've been hearing, he just got to focus and get right, and then
yeah,
he's
but
he's got to play the new Call of Duty too.
But will he focus? That's the thing. I don't think the problem is Kyler doesn't want to watch film, doesn't want to study, doesn't want to work out and get his body into football shape. Why would we then trust him to be good enough and ready enough to be a quarterback one for a team that's 10 times better than the Cardinals?
Right.
Like, I don't trust him. I mean, that could be an interesting thing in our franchise, though, if you want to trade for Kyler. Well, you wouldn't if you have the Bears, but
I have the Bears, yeah.
I'm debating on who I should do. I would do the Lions probably.
That'll be kind of fun.
Yeah.
But there's something else I missed. What else were we missing?
Stafford.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Elijah, if you're listening to this, just click in whenever, because I know your mom just got home. But Stafford has been having troubles forming connections with the younger players that have been drafted in the last 2 years. Like can't hit throws to him. So
well, and not only that, from the interview that I heard with his wife, she said that it's hard for him to connect with them off the field.
And on field too,
because right, but off the field primarily, she's been saying that it's been really hard because, like, when they're done with practice, he's been talking about how they're just going on their phones right after, and so he's like having a hard time connecting with them. Which, like, I don't know, it sounds like an excuse to me. Like, it sounds like you're telling me that some random 7th round wide receiver kid who's on his phone wouldn't want to talk to his Super Bowl winning quarterback. Like,
if you're starting, if you're going to make the roster,
it's just, I don't know. It's just weird. And it just feels like an excuse to me. Like, it feels like if he starts playing poorly, he's like, well, they were on the TikTok while we were trying to talk. So, like, it just seems really weird to me. But which is why I feel like Cooper Kupp fantasy stocks go up, because that's the only one he's going to trust to throw.
Yeah, but they're gonna double team him though. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to double team.
But certain teams, it doesn't matter if you double team it. Like the Cardinals, okay, great. You're gonna double team Cooper Cup with who?
Right.
Like Buddha and like I don't know. I don't even know their backfield well enough, but
Oh, this is the other thing we missed, Thatcher. The Pats shipped Nick Folk to the Titans.
Yeah, for like a 7th rounder.
For a 7th rounder. And the Broncos got Will Lutz for a 7th rounder as well.
Yeah. So
Elijah,
what do you think about Stafford?
I think it's a BS story, just to cover himself when Stetson Bennett takes over the job. And I think that Stafford is making excuses, which just shows that he's not a leader anymore. He was in Detroit, but you look at Aaron Rodgers, who was older than him. You look at Tom Brady, who was older than him when he was still, and when Brady was still in the league. They're connecting just fine. I mean, look at Sauce and Aaron Rodgers. They're like best of friends. So there's no
Garrett
excuse.
Wilson.
And Garrett Wilson. So there's no excuse for Stafford.
Yeah. Well, what's weird too is why is your wife saying it on
not
why
yourself.
Isn't it coming from you?
Right.
So a trade just happened. I'm gonna pull this up, but keep going.
Oh, I was just gonna
Oh wow, Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Trading Albert Okwebunam and a 7th round pick for a 2025 6th. That's a terrible trade.
I thought we let go of Albert. I thought we waived Big O.
You just traded him for a 6th round pick.
That's fine. We need picks anyway.
Well, I mean, 6 not going to do much. Also, Mo Diabate made the Browns 53. I think he's actually going to probably start alongside JOK. That's my gut.
And Siaki's going to be starting too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he'll be starting.
Well, because he's a D tackle, yeah.
Right, but we have Dalvin Tomlinson. And let me see the other.
I feel like he could win a job though.
Our D line. I mean, we have Shelby Harris and Dalvin, so I don't think he would start, but
he could win a job.
Over Dalvin and Shelby Harris, though.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's a lot.
It's just my guy. So, East High School represent, bro. But yeah, just the Stafford thing is really weird to me because I just feel like it's for sure an excuse, and it's for sure weird that it's not coming from him. Like, why is it coming from your wife and not you? Yeah. And why are you even saying that?
I think the Rams franchise is kind of crumbling with injuries, and
I think they really put. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was probably going to say the same thing. They put all their eggs in one basket to win that one.
And they did win it.
And they did
now
win
you're
it.
a mess.
But now you're in an absolutely horrible situation.
It reminds me of the Broncos situation. Like, I feel like the Broncos went all in with Peyton Manning that last year, and then since then they've been poo-poo.
Well, they had a winning record after they won the Super Bowl, but we also didn't have Manning, obviously, but we had Trevor Siemian. That's when that was before Patrick Mahomes was a complete starter. That's when they still had Alex Smith.
Right.
So we definitely had closer games with the Chiefs, but
I just think the drop off from the Rams is insane. You go from Super Bowl contenders to like one of the worst teams in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And in one of the worst divisions in the league.
Yeah.
Like, but I still think, okay, I'm calling it right now. Seahawks win the division this year.
Yeah. It's going to be close between Seattle and San Fran, honestly.
I'll take Seattle over San Fran.
Wait, whoa. You're saying Seattle over San Fran?
In the division, yes.
Whoa. Yep. Wait, what has Seattle done to lift them over San Fran?
Geno Smith is the answer.
Oh my God.
I think, well, part of it is I think that the Niners are going to struggle offensively for a minute because I think Purdy's not going to be. Everybody's saying Purdy's perfect, ready to go for week 1, but is he really? Like, I'm not buying that.
But you have Darnold. You have Darnold who has experience.
Looks so good. He looks so good
until he starts a regular season NFL game, and then he's gonna look shite, bro. He literally said he was seeing ghosts in a game, bro. Like, this man cannot perform at a league level. I'm telling you.
I
If
think
you,
he's gonna hold it down until.
I will tell you this: I trust Geno Smith in that offense more than Sam Darnold.
Agree.
Well, I mean, I don't think anyone would disagree with that,
But
but
that's what I'm saying.
you can't,
Well, like,
you
okay,
can't put Geno Smith on the 49ers.
but what I'm saying is that if you have Geno, let's say that Darnold has to play 3 games. You really think he wins 2 of 3 or 3 of 3?
Who are they playing? That's
Pull up
what
the
matters.
schedule.
Pull up the
You're gonna love this too, Thatcher. Will Lutz announced on Instagram that he was moving on from New Orleans. Excited for the next chapter of our lives, Broncos country.
Let's
Let's
ride.
ride.
That's right.
Okay, so I'm telling you, this week 1 is a trap game. Niners and Steelers.
The Steelers are going to win that one.
Right. And then they go to LA, which isn't really an away game. And
Wait,
then they play the
Chargers
Giants.
Chargers or Rams? in LA?
Rams.
Rams, that's a win.
And then they play the Giants, which could be an L.
And then they lose to the Giants, I think.
So you lose. Let's say you lose 2 of those games. Let me look at the Seahawks schedule.
But when
Caleb?
Purdy gets
Okay.
back,
Caleb, I love you, buddy, but I already see that Will Lutz got traded 3 hours ago, and you sent me that 41 fucking minutes ago.
Okay, so the
you,
Seahawks
Caleb.
open up with the Rams. That's a win.
Yep.
Then I can't tell what's home and what's away here. Hang on.
I'm
Okay,
trying to find
so-
this trade because it was the 30th pick.
So then they go to the Lions, which is a pretty tight game.
Okay.
I think that's a loss.
And then they beat the Panthers at home.
Right. So they start 2-1 versus the 49ers 1-2 hypothetically.
Right.
But then let's say in week 4, the 49ers get Brock Purdy back and they're back in their groove.
I don't know. I like the Seahawks, man.
I don't see the 49ers losing a game in that division. I think they beat every single team.
I think they lose at Seattle.
Their defense is like by far and away the best in the league.
Yeah, but I just Seattle at home. What if it's like I don't even know, but what if it's like Thursday night football in Seattle? Neon, I can see it right now in my head. The neon green color rush uniforms and Seattle win.
Breaking news. No deal. Indianapolis did not find what felt a fair value trade for Jonathan Taylor and was not trading its all-pro running back today. With no trade materializing today, Taylor is now expected to remain on the physically unable to perform list, making him ineligible to play for the first 4 games. He's expected to miss games versus the Jaguars, Houston, Texans, Baltimore, and the Rams.
Zach Moss
So,
stock.
Zach Moss.
Taylor stock
Next
is-
best opportunity for the Colts is to deal him before the Halloween deadline.
Yo, that is wild. First
Yeah.
4 games. Imagine people who have already drafted in fantasy. This is
That's
why
why
you
you
don't draft in
wait.
fantasy.
That's why
This
you
is
wait.
why
You
you don't
wait.
draft in fantasy. Goodness.
So Shefty said,
Yeah, Shefty said that.
well, and Shefty said on, I was watching because ESPN, oh shit.
Bye.
ESPN does their fantasy people do their fantasy draft live. And while they were doing it, Shefty said, wait to do your drafts until after the 29th, which is when they would hear news. And what is today? The 29th. And we heard news.
Mhm.
Dude, what does that mean for Jonathan Taylor in fantasy too? You can't draft him.
I think it means he drops to at least round 5 or 6.
Oof. You're drafting him in round 5 though?
You draft him
I-
as a stash until he gets traded.
Yeah, but in round 5, you
no.
probably can already you could probably get some pretty good value in round 5. And I don't,
I'm not saying I would draft him because I
But
don't
you're
like
saying that he
stashes.
would fall
I'm
that
saying
far.
that he would fall that far because someone will take him.
yeah. I mean, okay, if I had him round 7 or 8, I would take him.
Right.
But because
Melvin
what if he
Gordon.
did get traded?
Melvin Gordon got released by the Ravens. By the way,
That's not a surprise either. I think he should retire.
yes.
Probably.
So
And when's Kareem gonna sign, bro?
yeah, for real.
Kareem.
And
he's
Leonard.
been
Okay,
linked
and
to,
Leonard
3
Fournette too.
teams.
Leonard
Yeah,
Fournette's
how
still
are Kareem
on the
and
team.
Fournette? Neither of them are on
I
a team.
haven't heard Fournette being linked to anybody, but I've heard Kareem being linked to 4 teams.
Well, Kareem's met with 3 teams.
Right? He's met with the
Colts.
the Colts, the Saints, and did he meet with the Vikings?
No, I don't think so. I think he only met with the Colts and the Saints, I feel like.
I think.
And then
he's gonna
didn't he
go
meet
the
with the Browns again?
There was talks of it, but I don't
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I don't think it'll happen.
It's just weird. I think it shows how little value running backs have, honestly. No offense, but like I think teams are okay to move on from running backs if they feel like they're not ready to just look at Jonathan Taylor. He went one, last year, this time we're talking number 1 overall in fantasy, the best running back in the league. And now he's on the pup list and supposed to be traded, but can't find a trade. And he's going to be out for at least the first 4 games. Like,
And the same with Von Miller. Von Miller is also on the physically
Yeah.
unable to perform list, which is kind of sad
Yeah.
to hear.
yeah, but it'll make that, I don't know. I kind of wish he was healthy for week 1 against the Jets. Dude, that week 1 game is going to be.
It's gonna be.
Is that Sunday Night
bonkers.
Football? I think it is,
No,
right?
it's Dallas and New York is Sunday Night Football.
Okay, that sucks.
Yeah. But
I would rather watch the Giants.
So
I mean,
terrible
I would
Sunday
rather
Night
watch
Football
the
the Jets and
Jets.
the Bills.
that would be.
I think
that's
it's gonna be an 11 a.m. game though. That's probably why, since they're on Eastern time.
which they
Oh.
should have made it the Sunday night game. Now that would be so
Mhm.
sick. Wait, then it's in Buffalo, right? Because I think
No,
the Giants play.
They're in New York. I think.
No, because the Giants play at home.
Oh no, they're Monday Night Football, and they're also at home.
That makes sense.
That's gonna be a baller game, dudes. Oh my
Bum bum
gosh.
bum bum.
So, last little bit of news before we sign off. It's gonna be a more football-based episode this week. We're sorry, but MLB's just kind of been iffy.
Hey, I've been really enjoying MLB.
Yeah,
lately,
Mariners
okay?
are on a hot streak. The Giants are also on a hot streak. We're trying to battle for a wild card spot.
First place right now. Just want everybody to know, guys.
CJ Stroud has been announced as the Houston Texans starting quarterback.
Yeah, that
he
was
beat
announced
out
after the game.
he beat out Davis Mills.
Wow.
Wow.
What an
So
intriguing battle.
I'm kind of curious at how C Stroud will do. I'm
Stroud looked
hoping-
meh.
He looked man for one of the drives.
Yeah.
So, and then Rodgers played 2 drives on Saturday. A lot of back foot throws. I did not see a lot. He definitely had some overthrown passes.
That tutty to Wilson, though, was nice.
Yeah, that Teddy Wilson was really nice. So he played it on the dot.
Garrett Wilson's going to break out this season.
Yep, I definitely agree.
He already did break out. He won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, but I think
he's
he's
gonna
going
have
to
better-
take that next step up. I think he's Aaron Rodgers' new Devontae Adams.
Ooh.
Same number, too, baby.
Yep. Sam Howell has been announced as the
Wow.
Commanders quarterback. He bit out Brissett, which I'm
Although,
kind of
I
glad
think-
about it.
I think Brissett should have at least started 3 games.
You're just saying that because he started half the
No,
season for you.
I'm saying that because he's a good transitional quarterback.
Yeah,
You
but I
can't-
think it's time to give Howell just
Just an
like
opportunity.
yeah.
Yeah, but ease him into it. Don't just.
Did you see him play against the Ravens? Did you?
Because I don't watch the Commanders. It's trash football.
Dude, he was throwing lasers. They ended the Ravens' 24 preseason game winning streak.
Guess what? Will Greer was also throwing lasers. Are you going to start him?
Will Greer
Okay,
got
but-
released.
Okay, but Elijah, my point also, you want me to just tell you their opening, like, okay, their first 2 games,
Yeah.
they play the Cardinals and the Broncos.
Oh,
No
well.
offense, Zach.
See, okay, that's easy. That's easy. If they were
What
playing
the
like if they were playing harder teams, wouldn't you agree that you would start Brissett?
No.
But okay, but now listen, their schedule gets tough after that. So they host the Cardinals. So that should be Sam Howell season for sure.
Right.
You go to Denver, come back and host the Bills. Yikes. Then go to Philadelphia. Yikes.
Oof.
Then host the Bears. Not an easy game. Bears have a pretty decent defense too.
Our defense is decent, by the way,
And then
Elijah.
you play the Falcons, the Giants, the Eagles. Like, I don't know. I just think those opening 2 games are enough where you can. I feel like that's easing Sam into it in its own
Yeah,
right.
you're just you're getting him developed.
But
Yeah.
like, let's say they had their first 2 games as the Bills and the Eagles. I'm starting Brissett in that situation.
Yeah, but you can't. Yeah, but it's not that way. So
Right, it's not
I think
that way.
Sam Howell starting makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, because when you have
He
such
won the
easy-
battle fair and square.
Easy first 2 games, you know.
He won the battle.
I mean, let's be real. I'm going to be honest. They're not winning either of the next two, the Bills,
No.
Eagles. They're not winning those with either quarterback.
Right.
No.
So I still think a lot of people think the Eagles regressed this year. I still think the Eagles are going to be
Eagles defense regressed.
Yeah, but their offense is still just like
Offense is just fine.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Their running
I agree.
backs are still like questionable, but I think Swift will be all right.
Yeah. But
I agree. But yeah, I think we're gonna cut it here. For the next 2 weeks of episodes for us are gonna be really football based. So next week we will go over the NFL because the NFL is kicking off next Thursday, September 7th. So we will be doing an NFL themed episode going all over the games and all that. So I hope you guys are excited for that. Enjoy the first weekend of college football, guys. And then we got some dad advice for the week.
Go
ooh.
Elijah, you're going first now. Elijah's going
want me to
first.
go
He never
first?
goes first.
Yeah,
You want me to
true.
go first? Okay. Dad advice for the week. Well, this I don't know why. This one's kind of tough. It's kind of hard to think about it after a while. If you're living in Arizona, don't go outside. It's 117 degrees. And stay inside as much as you can.
You're gonna go and have family dinner with your parents, convince them to play beer pong with you
Oh,
and quarters.
sounds like our frat boy advice more than dad advice.
That's dad advice.
Hey, I'm going to be the only one that gives actual dad advice. All right.
I gave actual dad advice. You don't want to die.
You told us not to go outside Arizona.
Yes. I'm not
It's
talking to
dad
you.
advice.
I'm not talking to you.
You're
Okay.
talking to yourself.
I'm talking to viewers all around the world who want to come to Arizona and see whatever. is
They
here.
don't live in Arizona. They visit Arizona. There's a difference.
Still don't go outside. Unless
Okay.
It's up north.
Don't go outside and touch grass, guys. That's his advice.
Yeah.
Only touch ass. I mean,
That's
Okay.
tripped out.
my dad advice of the week is the unknown can be scary, but give it a chance and it might surprise you in a good way. AKA Nate Johnson. AKA
Not bad advice.
it is dad advice other than the
That's-
Nate Johnson part.
That's more philosophical.
Have you
That's just
come
more
on,
of a
dads will
I am a
give
Utah man vibe.
You said don't go outside, and the other one said play beer pong. I think mine was the best.
I said play
What?
beer pong with your parents or your kids.
That's not dad advice. No
Yes,
dad.
it
would
fucking
ever say
is.
that.
I don't think any dad is gonna say play beer pong with me.
No.
My dad did it.
Well, your dad's a special case then, I guess.
And so are you, Zach.
Ooh. Special ed
Elijah,
case.
why are you talking about
Special
yourself?
ed case.
Wait, Elijah.
Elijah's
were you-
just saying that. Elijah's just saying that because he's the actual person that has a special ed case.
Wait a second. No, Elijah, you weren't here when we told Zach to get on to ride the short bus to school every day and he didn't understand it, right?
No, I wasn't here.
Caleb, that was when we first started it, and Caleb said that Zach rides the short bus to school every day, and Zach said that he's too tall to ride the short bus.
That's like the most special ed answer you can
And he
get.
didn't know what the short bus was, and then we told him, and he's like, "Oh,
I'm too tall for the short bus.
I am
see,
too tall.
that's a good TikTok right there. You should go back and find that one."
Oh, that's funny.
Anyways, well,
I don't think we're recording though because that was like before we started. You didn't hit record.
I feel like it was recording because I feel like I was able to watch it back, but I'm not sure.
Whatever.
Anyways, it's all right. We'll cut this part out anyways, but okay,
All right.
that's about it.
OH.
OH. Go Utes.
IO.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna finish that for you to be honest, but
Why?
Yeah, I wasn't either.
Why?
I don't have any I'm not an Ohio State fan.
You better be.
Like it'd be like if you told me like if you were like we are, I'd be like yourself. Hate
We
Penn
are
State.
Fox
We are Fox Sports.
Hey.
right. We'll catch you guys next week. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the follow button on our social medias. All that jazz. And we will see you guys next week. Take it easy, guys.
Go Bucks.
Yeah.
Go Utes.
Go Utes.